Hey guys, welcome to uh, the football prediction series I'm doing with Ollie. On the screen right now, you should be able to see all the scores that he put in. I'm going to go through the scores. If I can find match day 2 of 3, there we go. We're going to go through the scores and see who won them, and then we're going to make a prediction for these games just here. Then Ollie will probably send me his over. So, the Sweden versus Korea game was actually there. Okay, so Sweden versus Korea, it ended up 1-0. So I lost out on that one. So at the minute it is Ollie, because Ollie guessed that Sweden will win 2-0. I guess South Korea. So Ollie gets 1 point so far. I'm going to keep track over here. The next game, Belgium versus Panama, it ended up 3-0 to Belgium. We both predicted this, so I go up to 1 point, and I get 2 for guessing the correct scoreline. He goes up to 2, and he also gets 2 points for guessing the correct scoreline. We both guessed 3-0. Now Tunisia versus England actually ended up 2-1 to England. So bear with me 30 seconds. I've got a feeling I've put that in wrong for Ollie. I assume that he's gone with England 3-0. England 3-0, yeah. So that should be 0-3. So another same guess as me. Sorry, that was my fault. I put that in completely wrong. And so, where are we? There we are. Ended up 2-1 to England, so we both get an extra point for guessing the correct score. Yeah, for guessing the correct winner, but not for guessing the correct score. Next is Colombia versus Japan. We both guessed 2-0 to Colombia. It actually ended up 2-1 to Japan because Colombia had a player sent off. So none of us get any points for that. Apologies if you can hear the pots downstairs. The next game was Poland versus Senegal. I originally predicted a 1-1 draw, whereas Ollie predicted 2-0 to Senegal. It ended up 2-1, 2-0 to Poland, and it ended up 2-1 to Senegal. So again, none of us get any points for that. Next is Russia versus Egypt. This is where we start match day 2 off. Russia versus Egypt, where are we? So I predicted 2-1 to Russia, whereas Ollie predicted 2-2. It actually ended up 3-1 to Russia, so I get an extra point for guessing the correct winner, but not the correct score. The next game, Portugal versus Morocco. I predicted 5-0. Ollie predicted 4-0, and it only ended up 1-0. And so we both get an extra point for getting the correct winner, just not the correct score. Uruguay versus Saudi Arabia. Now I predicted 2-0. Ollie predicted 4-0 to Uruguay, ended up 1-0 to Uruguay. So yet again, we get an extra point for guessing the correct winner. The next game, I believe, was Iran versus Spain. I think I've put that one in wrong for me. I don't think I went to go with Iran. I wouldn't have gone with it. I don't think I did go with Iran. I think I made an error. And so, Spain 3-0, we both guessed the same. Ended up 1-0 to Spain. So we both get the correct winner points. Now, Denmark, Australia. I predicted that Denmark would win, and Ollie predicted 1-1 for Australia. It did end up 1-1 in fact, so because of that I don't get any points. Ollie gets the correct outcome, so he's up to 7 and gets an extra 2 points, so he's way into the lead now. That's boosted him quite far. Next was France. I didn't mean to click that. France versus Peru. I put 2-0 France. Ollie put 3-1 France. It ended up 1-0 France. So we both get yet another point. So he goes up to 8. I go up to 7. So we're getting a bit closer with our predictions this week. Now, Argentina versus Croatia. We both guessed 2-1 to Croatia. It actually ended up 3-0 to Croatia. So we both get another point. I really need to pick up some winners pretty soon. Now, Brazil versus Costa Rica. Let's move it across. I guessed 2-0 Brazil, and Ollie guessed 4-0 to Brazil. It did actually end up 2-0 to Brazil. So Ollie goes up to 10 for getting the correct score, for getting the correct winner. I go up to 9, but then get an extra 2 points for getting the correct score. So I'm 1 point behind Ollie at this moment in time. Now the Nigeria-Iceland game, I guessed 2-1 to Iceland. Ollie guessed 1-0 to Iceland. We both don't get a point because Nigeria actually went and won that 2-0. The next game, Serbia versus Switzerland. I guessed Serbia 1-0, and Ollie guessed 2-0 to Switzerland. It ended up 2-1 to Switzerland. So Ollie gets 1 point for getting that right, but not the correct scoreline. The next game was Belgium versus Tunisia. I said 2-0 to Belgium. I'm assuming that Ollie was supposed to go for Belgium there. Where's the Belgium game? Belgium 4-0, yeah. I don't know why I've put it in like that. 4-0 for Belgium. There we go. Apologies, I did this late one night. So it actually ended up 5-2 to Belgium. So we both get another point. Where are we? So I got up to 10, Ollie goes up to 12. There we go. Where was we? The Belgium-Tunisia game, there we go. So next was South Korea-Mexico. We both guessed 2-1 to Mexico, which was in fact the correct score. So I got up to 11, he goes up to 13, up to 6, and then up to 6. I'm still only 2 points behind, you see. Germany versus Sweden. Now I said 2-0 to Germany, and Ollie said 3-2 to Germany. It ended up 2-1 to Germany. So again, we have to keep going back, but that goes up to an extra point each. England versus Panama. It ended up a 6-1 to England. I watched that today. It was an absolutely amazing game. So we both get a single point for guessing that correctly. And now Japan versus Senegal. I guessed 1-0 to Senegal, and Ollie guessed 2-1 to Senegal. It actually ended up 2-2, so none of us get the point for that. Going into the last game, Poland versus Colombia, I guessed a draw 1-1, Ollie guessed a draw 2-2, and it actually ended up 3-0 to Colombia, so none of us get a point for that. So after match day 2, Ollie won that one by 2 points on the correct winner scale. Both of us getting 3 correct scores throughout the whole week. So in total, I am 3 ahead and 2 ahead, so that makes 5 ahead. But then Ollie brought it back with 2, so I'm currently only 3 ahead at the minute. So Ollie has some catching up to do. Now I'm going to make my predictions. Uruguay versus Russia. With the way Russia have been playing, I actually think, and this is going to be the first one that's a bit strange, but I'm going to guess Russia 2-1. Uruguay haven't been that strong. You know, they started this week playing Egypt. They only scored 1, so maybe they won't do too well. Saudi versus Egypt. I'm going to go 3-1 to Egypt. I think that Egypt will come out. They can't progress any further than where they are now, and so I think that, you know, they're just going to think, you know what, screw it, let's just go all out attacking and just have a bit of fun, you know. Now, Spain versus Morocco. Spain have played relatively okay. Beat Iran, but only by 1. Drew to Portugal. I'm obviously going to give it to Spain, but I'm going to put 2-1. I think Morocco have some attacking threats that need to be exploited. Who did they play last week, in fact? Iran, and they lost to Iran, so maybe they won't do too well. Anyway, Iran versus Portugal. I'm going to go 3-0 to Portugal. Ronaldo's going to run that show again, because he's going to want to battle Harry Kane for that golden boot. Now, Denmark versus France. I'm actually going to put 2-1 to France, although they haven't been performing brilliantly. I do think they'll beat Denmark. But that's going to be one of them games where it's going to be quite tough. Australia versus Peru. I'm going to give it 1-0 to Australia. I think that's going to be quite a good clash. In fact, if we go to Australia, that whole group, that's close, isn't it? Table. So France is on 6. Peru can progress if Denmark lose. And they have got France, so that's a possibility. If Peru beat Australia by 2-3 goals, it's going to be tough either way. So, let me go out. Where are we? There we go. It doesn't matter anyway. So yeah, I still think Australia are just going to pip that. Because if they win... I didn't even check that. What happens if they win? Australia... Table. There we go. If Australia win... Sorry, yeah. Peru can't go up, but if Australia win by 2 goals... So I'm actually going to put 2-0 at the minimum. If Australia win it by at least 2 goals and France beat Denmark, that means Australia go through and Denmark don't. So that's going to be quite a good clash. Now, Nigeria versus Argentina. Argentina need an absolute miracle. They need to win by more than 3 goals against Nigeria. So I'm going to put 0-4. They need to score 4 goals to get level, which means they'll have 5 goals for, so they will progress through. Ooh, that's going to be tough. Iceland have then got Croatia. I think Croatia have got that. I think Croatia are through anyway. So they might settle off and let Argentina get it back. So Iceland versus Croatia. I think Croatia have got a 3-1 win against Iceland. Next is South Korea, Germany. Germany are already out, aren't they? No, because they won. So Mexico are already through. No, they're not already through. That's going to be close. South Korea are already out. No, they're not. Ooh, that's a tough game. Group, sorry. Now, both of these, because Germany and Sweden are both on 3 points, Mexico's on 6 and South Korea on 0. If South Korea win by 3 goals against Sweden... No. If South Korea beat Germany 3-0 and Sweden lose, South Korea will go through just. If Sweden win against Mexico, they'll draw points with Mexico. Then it gets determined by Germany in the South Korea game, because then if Germany win, that means that 3 teams will be on 6 points. Can that happen? Sweden play Mexico. Yeah, so they go up to 6, and Germany beat them, so they go up to 6. It means 3 teams will be on 6 points, which is ridiculous. Anyway, so because of that, I still think I'm going to go 2-0 Germany, and then 2-1 Mexico. I think Mexico are going to secure their place. They've been playing very well. Yeah, they have been playing very well, so I'm going to go with that. Now, Serbia versus Brazil. I'm actually going to go 3-1 to Brazil. Switzerland and Costa Rica. How is that looking? Brazil and Switzerland are both on 4 points. Serbia are on 3 points. And Costa Rica are on 0 points. Switzerland are going to win 2-0 to cement their place on 7, and then Brazil will have 7 points. But if Brazil lose and Serbia beat them, Brazil are out. Bearing in mind Switzerland win. God, I love the group stages when it gets like this, because teams fight for certain places. Anyway, Japan and Poland, sorry about that. Are Japan through? no, it's a very, very similar situation for Group H with the Japan-Poland game. Because, bearing in mind, let me just swizzle this round so I can view it a little easier. Japan are on 4 points, Senegal are on 4 points, Colombia are on 3 points, and Poland are out. Yeah, they're definitely out. If Colombia win that against Senegal, Colombia will go through. And then Senegal could go through if Japan lose, because they're drawing on goal difference. If it ends up 0-0, then Colombia don't go through. No, if Colombia win, that's a tough one. If Colombia win, oh no, because that'll put Senegal's goal difference down. Oh, that's another tough game. Anyway, I'm just going to go on how I think it's going to go. I reckon Japan are going to win 2-1, only because they've won one and drawn one so far. They're yet to lose. Poland have lost both their matches, so I don't think they're going to go anywhere. Senegal versus Colombia. I think Colombia are going to do it easily, 3-0 like they did today. And now England versus Belgium. We're both through no matter what. We've won both of our games. Tunisia and Panama have lost both of their games. They're 6 points behind both of us, so nothing can happen. But I think we're going to win that 2-1. I reckon Belgium are going to either overestimate us and go ultra defensive and then let the pressure get on them and then concede. Or at the same time, I think they're going to underestimate us, like not perform brilliantly with the players. They're going to be like, oh, it's only Harry Kane and Harry Maguire, Trippier, stuff like that. People aren't going to be playing too well. And they're going to underestimate us and we're just going to pounce on the opportunity. I think we're up for it. The team that we've got are well up for it. So 2-1 England. Although Belgium could win that. So either or, to be fair. Panama versus Tunisia. I think that Tunisia are going to absolutely win this one. 3-0. Because Panama are dreadful. Have you seen them? They're on -8 goal difference. They conceded 6 to us today. But yeah. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Please leave your suggestions down below what you think. I will update this with Ollie's scores pretty soon. And so as it stands, like I said, that's 10 add 23, 29 points I'm on. Ollie is on 26, so I'm 3 points ahead. See you later.